the team we have, especially the offensive side of the ball, was built for Tony. So this is what it is. It's a juncture that we have to address. And, I don't know how ultimately we will resolve this, and nobody should be alarmed because you don't have all the answers. There's some issues here that you just have to see how the cards are played. Main thing about it is we will work through it. We have a sound enough foundation together that on an individual basis, we'll get through this.
I'm very confused.
Them Cowboys, here
right?
we go.
I thought a dilemma is when you have two bad options. So Jerry Jones saying he doesn't know what to do with Tony Romo on his weekly radio appearance in Dallas. Herm, I know you've got some advice for him. Stay tuned for that. But I want to start with you, Stephen A. Do you believe Jerry is truly undecided?
Yes, emotionally, not business-wise. Business-wise, it's going to come down to money. He's going to do what he's going to do. We all know this because he's not going to have a choice, particularly in the hard cap that is the National Football League. But emotionally, understand this is not something he wants to do because he loves this guy. If he could have sabotaged Dak Prescott and gotten away with it, Jerry Jones would have done it. This is guys like an adopted son to him. Sits in the suite with him, watching Jerry's grandson play football games, comes over for Thanksgiving dinner, exchanges Christmas gifts and the beyond. And listen, I have no problem with it. Tony Romo obviously is an incredibly nice guy. He's a very gifted quarterback, a 78-49 record as a starter. But I'm going to repeat, 2 playoff victories in 10 years as a starter for the Dallas Cowboys. 2. That's it. You got to win 3 at least, Coach, to win a Super Bowl championship in 1 year. This dude won 2 in 10 years. But somehow, some way, he's treated better than Emmitt Smith. He's treated better than primetime Deion Sanders. He's treated better than Michael Irvin. He's treated better than Troy Aikman, who delivered you 3 Super Bowls. See, that's the travesty in all of this that nobody brings up. Jerry Jones gave us the impression he wasn't just a hype machine personified or anything like that. He was and he wasn't just a businessman. He was somebody who greatly, greatly appreciated winners. It meant everything to him if they were not Jimmy Johnson. If you're Jimmy Johnson, you can win 2 Super Bowls and I can still get rid of you because I want the credit. I don't want you to get all of it. So let me bring Barry Switz in here because everybody's going to know it's my players and I'm the one that brought them in and cut the check and all this other stuff. I'm the president, the GM, and the pseudo coach. So I'm going to get credit in the end. And that's what he did, which is why they haven't won a Super Bowl title in the last 22 years with their irrelevant, pathetic selves. But in the end, what it comes down to is very, very simple. Jerry Jones makes exceptions. If he loves you, if you touch his heart, if he's moved by you, then that supersedes dudes who actually win for you. And that is exactly what the case is here. Dudes who have delivered titles to this man are treated worse than a dude that can barely win a damn playoff game in his career. But it's Jerry, so obviously it's news. It's quite pathetic.
Jerry Jones has not made up his mind to answer the question. He has not. He doesn't know. But if you don't like Jerry Jones, and I'm not one of those people, and I don't think Stephen A. you are either, or a lot of people who criticize the Cowboys don't like him. His ego has interfered. Yeah, his ego, because he thinks he's a coach and he thinks he knows more football than he actually knows, apparently, has interfered with the Cowboys winning in the last 22 years to the extent that they might have. But they've won more than some. They haven't been awful. So he has a big ego, obviously, and that sometimes comes first. But he inspires loyalty in the people around him, and that says a lot to me about someone's likability, their character. Do you like them or not? So I find him hard to truly dislike. But if you dislike Jerry Jones, you'll enjoy this because he's powerless right now. Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, is completely, utterly powerless. He doesn't know what he's going to do. But I know what he's going to do. Dak Prescott will start next season. There's nothing that's going to change that, no matter what Jerry Jones wants. So he'll spin it around in his head a million times, and in the end, he'll land on Dak Prescott because that's the reality. I don't dislike Jerry Jones, but if you do, you'll enjoy this because as big as his ego is, the thing he dislikes most, I'm sure, is to, in fact, have no power in the situation. This is a fait accompli. Dak's the starter.
You guys make great points, and he has an emotional decision that he has to make, and he's struggling with it. What is he going to do with Tony Romo, obviously? And there's a lot of rumors out there, certain teams. If I'm Jerry, it's real simple, and he mentioned it. He said this Dallas Cowboy team is built for Tony Romo. Well, if it's built for Tony Romo, a couple things come into mind. What team is similar to this that needs help? Buffalo Bills. They have Tyrod Taylor up there. They're not going to pay him the $15 million that he's due, probably March 12th. Probably going to cut him. Do you work a deal with the Buffalo Bills? Because when you think about the Buffalo Bills, understand this. The #1 running team in the National Football League, Buffalo Bills. #2 running team in the National Football League, Dallas Cowboys. So they have an offensive line. They have an outstanding runner. They have some perimeter players, have a defensive head coach that's going there, and Sean McDermott, who was in the NFC East, who faced Tony Romo many a Sunday. He understands what Tony Romo brings to the table. You have a veteran quarterback. You have a team that hasn't been in the playoffs since 1999. You get Tony Romo in Buffalo, all of a sudden, you have some energy. Now, I understand you're playing for second because Captain America owns that division. But here again, they haven't been in the playoffs since 1999.
Well, Coach, here's where I disagree with you.
Yes.
And you would know this better than me, but even though you played football and I didn't, and you know football because you are a coach and a player, I got you on this one, Coach. Are you ready? I want you to brace yourself. I want you to brace yourself. Max, you're gonna laugh at this too. Coach Herm Edwards.
Yes, sir.
Where do you live?
Oh, you're gonna say weather.
Hold on, where do you live, Coach?
Carmel, California. And it's raining right now.
And Coach, and that weather out there that you experience out in Cali, how does your skin feel when you come to Bristol?
Her whole career.
How do you feel, Coach? Coach, how do you feel? How do you feel when you come to Bristol? When you come to Bristol,
right now,
and you step out in that weather?
Not real good. It's cold.
Not real good. Now, Coach,
Coach, he got you on the ropes.
Hold on,
Coach is on the ropes. He got you on the ropes.
There we go. Now, Coach, check it out, Coach. Now we talk about Tony Romo.
Yes.
Mr. Back injury, hips, knees, everything, right? We talk about Tony, collarbone. Let me not forget that.
Yeah.
We talk about Tony Romo in Buffalo, New York, in October, November, December. You sure you want him there, Coach?
Well,
Buffalo?
Stephen A., what is he going to do? He's going to do this a lot. He's going to turn around and hand it to the runner. This is not going to be
still got to throw.
Well,
still got to throw. Still got to get hit.
He'll have to throw 25 times a game.
Pressure will be off.
25 times a game. That's it, Stephen A. That's all they're going to ask him to do. When he does that,
still got to live there 6 months a year.
When he's not a volume passer,
Coach,
he's a really good quarterback.
That's you sitting next to Molly, being all warm and cuddly inside, because she makes us all feel that way. But damn it, she ain't Buffalo. Okay, when he get to Buffalo,
and
it's
Coach,
a different ball game.
You guys have to admit though,
and
Coach came out of left field with that. That's a pretty good option.
Hey, look,
we've heard Denver, we've heard Houston, and they can't do it financially.
Let me ask you this: do you remember a quarterback that played for Cleveland when they were relevant? His name was Brian Sipe. You know what school he went to? San Diego State.
So,
sun's always shining, palm trees. He played for the Cleveland Browns. And he played in the
positivity that's that positivity that I was alluding to when I brought up Molly. That's that positivity. They're making everybody feel good. You see what I'm saying? Let's find the silver lining. Y'all need to stop that nonsense. Max Kellerman, you too. Stop acting like this cold weather don't affect y'all when y'all was used to being in warm weather.
It affects everybody, Stephen A.
Y'all need to stop
Stephen A. It makes you better.
Seriously. That cold weather matters, man.
I
think you can't send Tony Romo to Buffalo. The cold weather alone will have him hurt by week 3. You got to be crazy.
The Buffalo idea is very interesting, and it makes sense when you say it. But to Stephen A.'s point, there are other destinations that also make sense that aren't frozen over for those 6 months. Including Houston, including Denver.
Look, this is business. When you trade Tony Romo, if you're going to trade him, you have the ability to get this. You can move up to 10. Buffalo has the 10th pick. You move up to 10. Are they willing to give a 10th pick for Tony Romo? They probably are. You're not going to get a rookie quarterback to play in it. You need a quarterback right now that has some gravitas, that brings energy to your stadium, and it's Tony Romo. He's the veteran guy that's out there.
If
Coach,
you're
talking about a first rounder for Romo?
You better go to Denver.
You probably would trade your 28th for their 10th, go back, and then get their second. I'm telling you, anything can happen. If you think, look, this
Tony
team has been in
Romo
the
is
playoffs
72
since
years old. He
1999.
doesn't have any vertebrae left.
Coach,
Listen,
no matter where he
they're
goes,
desperate.
no matter where he goes, he has a back. He has a bad back. If you're Tony Romo, you want to be protected by
Buffalo, I
what?
ain't touching it.
Offensive line and a runner. He got an offensive line and a
He
runner.
does have a coach. He has a bad back. If I'm Buffalo and you come to me and ask me anything to do with my first-round pick, click.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
Max.
Tony
you saying
Romo
that.
is one blizzard away from IR. He's one
I know.
blizzard
They're
away from
so
IR.
soft.
This is not fantasy football, Max. I know you and Stephen A. had to leave 2 days early to go to New York because you guys were
They're
scared to drive in the
Hollywood.
snow.
They're Hollywood.
Me and Molly are right here,
we're
right?
here. We
We're
play
here,
the
Molly.
elements 'cause we're
the West Coast.
unspelled
We're the
type.
West
We
Coast
wouldn't
folks.
make
We're
it in
the snow.
professional
Thank
football.
They running out of there. Stop all that badness.
Enough with you.
Come on.
Herm, good
Get
to
tough.
see you, as always.
He's a
Thank you for
blizzard
bringing
away
that up.
from IR,
A blizzard.
Molly.
All
A
right.
blizzard
This isn't
away.
Dairy Queen.